Ladies and gentlemen, I am here once again with the Impact Wrestling review. We have the top takeaways today. I have 10 takeaways. I'm about to get right on into it. Feel free to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to be notified of every video that I make. So I'm not going to waste any time. This is a quick review. Like, I don't go through the moves move by move by move by move by move. Like, I might talk about a few moves here and there, but I like to make it nice and quick for you guys. So, first takeaway. It was a lit opener. We had OVE versus Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Tommy Dreamer, and it was a really good match. I like Tommy Dreamer in doses to where we can have him in a multi-man match, not one-on-one match. Tommy Dreamer, I don't really like that because he can't really move around as great as he used to. So in this type of match, we kind of hide him and let the other guys do the big time work. I thought they did a great job of that. I love many moments in the match. The stereo dives, back-to-back dives by Willie Mack and Rich Swann. The dives where Rich Swann and Willie Mack dove again, and then Tommy Dreamer slid under the ropes. I love that as well. The Tommy Dreamer frog splash, love that as well. But the match would end seemingly as it looked like Rich Swann, Willie Mack, and Tommy Dreamer would pick up the win, but OVE would pick up the win as Sami Callihan would hit a power driver for the win. It was a fun opener. I loved it, and it got the crowd going. Las Vegas was lit. Las Vegas has been doing a really good job, I gotta say. And I gotta give them props. It is one of the better Impact crowds lately, and I have loved every single bit of it. And like, I'm mad that they gotta go, but we are heading to Windsor. Windsor was the most lit crowd in recent memory, and I can only imagine, what they'll be like going forward. So, my next takeaway is Moose crashes the 70s show and that 70s show skit by the Rascals. So, like I always say, the 70s show skit by the Rascals, it can be hit or miss at times. And sometimes it is missed. And it was kind of starting to be missed, but Moose came along and it started to be a hit again. Like last week when they started clowning Moose. This week Moose says, remember the guy that y'all was clowning last week? And they all bursted out laughing. And then they start ragging on Moose again. I think it was Dez that said he looked like a strawberry pot stick. And that was hilarious. And this segment was great. Obviously, Moose laughs with him, but he lays them all out and then says, you guys are funny. I like the skit this week. It was a hit. Moose was a hit. All the guys, Zachary Winch, Trey McGill, those guys were a hit as well. Loved it. So my next takeaway is Glen Gill freaking Birdie. Like, I'm not going to even break down this match. I'm just going to say I'm sick of seeing Glen Gilberti. The faster his match with Scarlett Bordeaux gets here, the better. He had a match versus Kikutaro. Glen Gilberti picked up the win. I am tired of seeing that guy. Like, he definitely needs to go away because I'm tired of seeing him. My next takeaway is what is going on with Reno Scum? So they had a rematch with Falaba and KM. Excuse me with the sniffing. I'm still getting over a cold for whatever reason. But they had a rematch with Falaba and KM. The match, the momentum of the match kind of fell off when they beat down Falaba, threw him into the steps. And the match never really picked up any type of momentum because Falaba was down for like 2 to 3 minutes. And that took up a chunk of the match. Once Falaba got in, he cleaned house, and Falaba and KM picks up the win. Like Reno Scum debuts, they lose their debut, and they come back and they lose the rematch again. Like, that's not the best of ways to use these guys. These guys debuting needed some type of momentum, and like this ain't it. This ain't the momentum. Like, I'm very surprised by that. But moving on, my next takeaway is there is tension between Conan and the Lucha Brothers. Conan went at them, wanting a rematch, said they needed to give LAX a rematch, and Lucha Brothers wasn't having it. Pentagon gave him a Cerro Meadow to his face, and Phoenix walked off from him, and this is very interesting. We got tension between Conan and the Lucha Brothers, said that they would pay for this, and also later on in the night, the show would go to LAX backstage as they normally do, and Conan barged in, mad, and he talked about how it would be LAX and the Lucha Brothers in a 51-50 street fight, and Santana Ortiz was excited. It was like, you got the rematch? And Conan said, not yet, but I will. And that left Santana and Ortiz just looking at each other like, what? He didn't get the rematch yet? Oh, we're going to get it. So, moving on. My next takeaway is Jordan won? Jordan Grace versus Tessa Blanchett. It was a fantastic match. It was power versus power as they went at it. And the great thing about these girls is they're so powerful, but they are so nimble as well. They're quick, and they are fantastic workers. Two of my favorites in all of wrestling, to be quite honest. And it was a phenomenal match, and it felt predictable because I thought that, okay, Tessa Blanchett is going to win here. Tessa Blanchett is going to get the title at the next pay-per-view. And Jordan Grace picked up the victory with the Michinoku driver. And I gotta say, I like it. It was well done. I hope they actually go all the way with Jordan Grace and put the title on her. Like, she is a phenomenal wrestler. And at this stage, I don't want her to lose to Taya Valkyrie. And like I said, I hope they go all the way with her. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all turns out. So all of these events are tied into one. I didn't put any other takeaways on it. We got a post-match. Tessa Blanchett was just angry with everybody. She clocked the guy that was just sitting at ringside. And that brought out Gail Kim. She got her some of Tessa Blanchett. Gail Kim stood tall. And we came off of the commercial break. There was Scott D'Amore yelling at Tessa Blanchett. She yelled back at him. There came Gail Kim. She started yelling. And Scott D'Amore suspended her like he suspended Tessa Blanchett, but only Gail Kim got a 1-week suspension. It was funny because Tessa Blanchett went from angry to laughing, shoulders just bouncing up and down, a huge smile on her face, laughing at Gail Kim. And I guess that sets us up for a pay-per-view match with Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchett, to which, okay, I can dig it. You know, we're going to take Tessa Blanchett away from the title picture for the time being. We're going to get this match with Gail Kim. We're going to give Tessa Blanchett a huge win. I can definitely dig it. So, my next takeaway is the Bunny Convert. We had Allie and Rosemary. And Rosemary was trying to get the old Allie back. It wasn't working. Allie said that the bunny is dead. And Rosemary said that she warned her that if she could let the darkness consume her, this would happen. So we have the elongated Rosemary Allie storyline. And like I said, I'm glad that they got to the point of getting Allie back. But this deal with Rosemary and Allie, it's like the Dark Allie was really good when they first debuted it. When she first turned heel, it was like, oh my goodness, this is really interesting. But it dragged along, and it kind of hurt the Rosemary storyline. And once Rosemary came back, they kept dragging it along. And it's lost a tad bit of interest, at least from my standpoint. So it's not as hot as it would have been had they went along this storyline right as Rosemary appeared. But we'll see how it all turns out going forward. I'm pretty sure the old Allie will come back at some point, or we'll just keep with Dark Allie and she'll be tag teaming with Rosemary. We shall see how it all turns out. So my next takeaway is Sami Callihan is mad. He said that he was going to take everything from Rich Swann, and it was going to start with the X Division title next week. That would be the main event for next week. Sami Callihan and Rich Swann for the X Division title. I hope they go with that. Sami Callihan, right, taking off the title from Rich Swann. I hope the title changes hands. We shall see as next week approaches. So, my next takeaway after that is Kenny wins. So, we got a match, Eddie Edwards, Eli Drake versus the Desi Hit Squad. And I gotta say, this was one of the matches that, man, I just did not have interest in. I'm not all that interested in the Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake storyline. There's nothing outwardly bad about it, I gotta say, but it's just not doing it for me. I gotta be quite honest. This was a decent enough match. It didn't pick up until Eli Drake came in and cleaned house. He would throw Eddie Edwards the kendo stick, and Eddie Edwards would pick up the win that way. We'll see how this storyline turns out going forward. The Desi Hit Squad, how many times do I have to say that they just need to beat down Gamasine? They just need to let these boys go. And I think that would take them to another stratosphere, another point. Like, they would get massively over if that would have happened. But we'll see how this Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake storyline ultimately turns out going forward, because I don't know if that was the way to go, but with the storyline. But we'll see if they end up having a great ending to the storyline. I can forgive all. So my last takeaway is a Johnny Roos. Man, how about this for a storyline? So, Johnny Impact and Brian Cage, the rivalry is on a tipping point of being stale to me. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay, we need something. If the title matches this week, then Brian Cage needs to win, doggone it. And we get Johnny Impact's music playing and it's like, where's Johnny Impact? Then Killer Cross comes down with Johnny Impact in the neck brace, dragging him down the rampway. And of course, like, well, the title match is not taking place here. And he's about to beat down Johnny Impact even more. So Taya Valkyrie comes down with Brian Cage and she's like, help him out. Brian Cage is like, man, he is on his own. I ain't fighting his battles for him no more. So Taya Valkyrie comes down, tries to save the day. And Killer Cross gets in her face. And that's when Brian Cage comes down. He clears house of Killer Cross. And I'm thinking that, okay, we're going to fade to black like that. But oh no. Taya Valkyrie comes with a low blow. And Johnny Impact does a nip up, rips off the neck brace. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? So it was very interesting that, you know, we got this heel turn out of Johnny Impact. I gotta say, while I'm here talking about a heel turn, Johnny Impact's best work in Lucha Underground was when he was a heel. And a matter of fact, I think he was a heel the entire time. I'm not quite sure about that. But when he was a heel, he was doing his best work in Lucha Underground. I'm glad that he's back to being a heel now. This gives the Johnny Impact Brian Cage rivalry or feud a shot in the arm that it desperately needed. We needed this Johnny Impact heel turn. I'm happy with it. He gave Brian Cage a concerto, and we're off and running. The only thing that I find weird about all this is Johnny Impact leaves out, and Killer Cross is there getting a hearty laugh out of it, which was funny. Is Killer Cross and Johnny Impact in on this? I'm glad that we don't know, because it leaves us on a hook to watch next week. But It doesn't make sense if Killer Cross is in on it with Johnny Cross. The only way it can make sense is if Killer Cross says that, you know what, Brian Cage is the toughest challenge for the World Championship, and I wanted to take him out just to get to Johnny Cross and win the title. That I can definitely buy. If he was pulling one over on Johnny Impact all along, I could definitely buy that. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense for Killer Cross to really help out Johnny Impact. So that is my takeaways. I enjoyed the show overall. It wasn't too. I think the good outweighed the bad in this show. Glen Gill freaking birdie. There were a lot of things that I really liked. The opener was really good, and the ending segment of the ending angle I really dug. So let me know your thoughts on Impact Wrestling, whether that's in the YouTube comments or on Twitter at 2SweetPod. That's number 2 Sweet POD, or at OMG Corey B. Let me know your thoughts.